Hey, good stuff, family. I want to introduce you to my two new friends. I feel like I've known you forever, Sarah. Sarah and Jen are two of the faces behind Edna House here on Cleveland's West Side on West 65th Street. And this is a place where people come to recover. And we're fortunate enough that you're going to take us on the little tour that you do here. And your story, Jen, actually, Jen Murphy, starts right here, literally in this room, your recovery story.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before I get into that, I want to kind of give you a walkthrough of how the Edna House came to be and get started. The best person to tell you all about that is Jen, and then she'll turn it back over to me.
Do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
So if you guys just stand together and then, yeah. Right. So it was in 2004 that this house was started by four women who knew how important the work was going to be here.
Yes, four women in recovery themselves who knew that 18 years ago there was no place, a safe place for a woman to go and recover from addiction unless she had health insurance, a criminal justice referral, or $1,500 in cash. So because of that, the Edna House began at a small house in the west side of Cleveland, and within 2 years it had completely outgrown itself, and we were able to lease the building here, which is the former convent of St. Coleman Parish.
And it's beautiful. Like this is the attic, but wait till you see when we go on this tour what they have done and how they've transformed. This place feels like home. It feels like a place where you're safe and where you can work on yourselves, right? And we're all about repurposed lives. Together we can, together we will, not just words. And that's why I love you guys, because you're doing it. You're tangibly doing it here. So, okay, let's take our viewers on this tour if we can.
Okay, so again, in 2006, we started renting this space. This is called the attic. And for the first 90 days, women live up here. And they're downstairs all day long in recovery group meetings, all facilitated by women in the outside recovery community and our beloved Edna alumni.
Yeah.
So every morning they get up early, they make their bed, they do their chore, and they are downstairs and ready for the first group, which begins at 8:30.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we know that it costs $500 a month to have a woman here, and we ask them for $100 a month. Nobody has it, and the best part of my job is that I get to say, come on in, it's okay, and we're going to help you. We're going to defer that $100 a month till the 5th month after you get a job, after you've been here and you go through our job skills program. And then I literally had women coming to me when I first started here, bringing me their first paycheck, saying things like, Jen, please keep the door open for the next woman, like you did for me. Makes my job very easy to come to. I promise you.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I first began, and one of our founders said, Jen, we're going to buy these buildings. And I said, oh, okay, we're buying buildings from the Catholic Diocese. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just want Murph to tell you a little bit about how she got to know the Edna House.
Because this is the best spokesperson for a place like this is a person who knows how transformative this place could be, right? I'm going to have you stand over this way. Do you mind, Murph? So we have this kind of okay, sure. So go ahead.
It's my honor to talk about the Edna House. There's never enough words. And I'll tell you, let me start by saying the only reason I get to do this is because of the women who came before me, the women who are here and the women who will come after me. It's one woman helping the next. I'm forever grateful to all of them. Yes. I started working here in 2019. I was hired, and I proudly say, as Jen's assistant, because I have learned so much from our executive director. And she had a desk full of things, from writing handwritten thank yous to starting and launching and running the capital campaign, which allowed us to purchase these buildings. My position has grown to advancement coordinator. I work directly with our donors, community outreach, awareness to different schools, things like that. But my favorite part to tell everybody is my first experience at the Edna House when I came to live here in July of 2015. I grew up on the west side of Cleveland. I graduated from St. Joseph Academy. I went to Tri-C and became a court reporter. I did not finish school. I ended up moving to Key West, and I found a firm that hired me, and I did court reporting in Key West, Florida in my early 20s, and I had a blast.
You were like nationally recognized for it too. Like you didn't just you were like kicking butt.
Yeah, I did. I won Rotary Awards for how fast I could type on that machine. I mean, I was really good at it. In my early 20s, though, I was having a lot of fun with people. We were drinking a lot. I started bartending in addition to the court reporting while I was in Key West. And eventually that lifestyle was the one that I chose, and I quit the court reporting. So I lived down in Key West for about 6 years, and I'll be honest, I had a lot of fun in Key West. But the thing was, is eventually it was time to come back to Cleveland.
Yep.
When I came back, my family encouraged me to go back to school, go back to the court reporting, and I kept saying, yeah, I've got the rest of my life to do that. I'll grow up soon enough. But eventually what happened was what used to be fun was a habit.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I was 35, it was an absolute necessity. And I could not function anymore without drinking. And I became completely unemployable. I was very sick, in and out of the hospital, detoxing, pancreatitis. The doctors told me I would not live to see 40. I put my family in a position to tell me not to come around anymore. I was no longer welcome in their lives. And where I was living, I was asked to leave. So now I was about to be homeless. And I didn't know what to do. And I was embarrassed and I was scared. And there was a little bit of hope that I had. And it was from a woman that I used to drink with years ago, who got sober years before me here at the Edna House. And she would take me to meetings. I tried going to meetings, 12-step recovery meetings on my own. But the thing was, I was always afraid to walk into a room with people I didn't know. So I drank before that meeting, and sometimes during, and most definitely after that meeting. And I needed somewhere that was going to sit me down. And so she said, Murph, call the Edna House. And when I did, the woman on the phone that answered was really nice. And I explained to her my situation, which was I have nothing. I'm literally selling the last of whatever I have. And she made it seem very normal, and come to find out that is very normal by the time we get here. And she said, you can come. It's okay. You can come. And when I got to the Edna House, my aunt dropped me off, Linda, and the women were happy and they were laughing and they gave me hugs and they got me something to eat, and they showed me my bed. And in July of 2015, it was hot up here and there was a window there. And I love that I had a bed there. And I'll tell you, the thing that I remember the most about my time at the Edna House up here in the attic was that I wasn't afraid anymore. Every day when I woke up, there were women that were surrounding me and helping me and encouraging me. And the Edna House provided that safety and security that I needed. I didn't have to worry about the lights and the electricity being shut off. I didn't have to worry if the water was shut off. I knew that the bills were paid, and there was food downstairs. And all I had to do was follow the rules. And that meant making my bed, which is still done today. And it meant structure and routine and discipline. And I literally got a foundation for how to live a sober life. It was one sense of getting sober, but then how do you live that sober life? Right. And the women here, they showed me how to do that. The women that would come and voluntarily come in and do groups with us, that was school for me. This is your lesson for today.
And you don't have to work when you're here. You give your cell phone, put the cell phone away, and your work is on yourself and in keeping this place clean and right.
Yeah, it really was. And that was the crazy thing too. It's like there was always so much fear. How do I go to work? How do I pay the bills? How do I do this? Plus get sober.
Right.
So here it was like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about that. Just get better. And that's what I did. I got a sponsor. I went through a job skills program. Jen will tell you a little bit more about that. But I got my first full-time corporate job while I was still living at the Edna House. And I had health insurance, 401k, and Monday through Friday. And the thing that I'm so excited to tell you is that after some time, I was able to make amends with my family. And I'm a big part of my family, and they like me around today. And we just went to the zoo, and they came over for Easter, and they like being around me. And I love being a part of my family in such a different way that is better than it ever was before. There's not enough words to, again, like describe what we get while we're here at the Edna House, what these women do for us, and then to be able to pass it on to others, to be a staff member. So, eventually Jen called and she said, Murph, I have this position that I think you'd be really good for. And this was after a long time of prayers of, God, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I have keys to the back door now, and I get to pull up and I get to hear these women pray, and I get to talk about this absolutely amazing place. And I would talk all day, but let Jen tell you. Like,
that's why we get along so well. I said I loved you before I even saw you, because I knew your heart and your soul on the phone. And it occurs to me, not only have you repaired with your family, now you have this whole bonus family, not just of the people you met here, the people who are here now, the people who are coming in the future. It's an extended family, and that's super cool.
Waiting for them. We know that they're coming.
Awesome.
And we'll see them when they get here. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Pray for that.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is a tour that you do, because let's make it clear right now that you guys run completely on donations.
Yes.
Yes. So you give the tour to people who will come here. And so we're hoping that people hear this loud and clear, and just grateful you took time to take us on that tour. So if you want to be part of this, and you're watching this, Edna House on Cleveland's West Side, and here you can learn more from here on out.
Okay. So yes, we run on grants, individual donations, and our two big fundraisers a year. And when I first began here 4 years ago, I thought we got to let people in here so they know what they're supporting, because that is that they help us tremendously. The Cleveland community supports the Edna House, and we wouldn't be able to run without them. Yeah. So, and then Murphy and I had one of our board members come, and he brought his friend who was a big AA guy. And it was so hot. It was June. And if it's 80 outside, imagine what it was in here. We sweated through our clothes while we were giving them the tour up here. And within 24 hours, those two men came together and donated $64,000 to put the electricity in this, redo the electric in this former convent that was 100 years old. And so that we could have air conditioning upstairs and not blow any fuses, so we hold up to 47 women at a time. And again, when I first started, I know I invited my friend, Sister Rita Mary Harwood here. And I said, Sister, I know this doesn't look like very much. And she walked around with her hands up in the air like this. And she said, this is the most beautiful use of this sacred space.
Oh,
You are saving lives.
yes.
Ever since Sister said it, I'm all this. This works. And our founders knew that this open floor concept works. The women can't isolate. They come, they're sad, they're sick, but I tell people we are like respite care for families. When you help a woman at the Edna House, you're not just helping that one woman. You're saving families. Mothers reunite with their children. Husbands and wives.
Case in point right here.
Hi.
Okay, so this is the top floor. So I had to get up here. When I saw you guys, we're going to go downstairs and show you their different levels, okay? So they ended up having their own rooms eventually. They're beautiful.
Right.
And they have a chapel and all this, right? So
So we're going to go on down to the second floor.
Okay.
So
I'll
this
follow
is the
you.
first 90 days.
No, I'll go first because I know you guys were concerned about it. They're like, don't show behind. We can accommodate that. That's hilarious. Yeah, so during the 80s, even when you pull in out front, it's this beautiful 100-year-old convent that has been restored. Like, you just feel peace. I don't know if you feel it when I'm feeling these rooms. This is where people get their lives back. Warm, and they're all smart. And what's happening here, including, actually, I know we're supposed to be on the official tour, but Jen's dad is one of your heroes who was sober for how many years?
44 years before he passed.
And there's a room here that your family sponsors.
Right. So when the founders and the board said, we're going to buy these buildings, I was like, okay, with what? And again, the community came out. My family and I donated $2,500 to totally redo the rooms down here and get new furniture. The women work so hard when they're up there for 90 days. I just wanted it to be nicer. And we never kick a woman out. She can stay for as long as she'd like. So this is where a woman typically spends the 4th, 5th, and 6th month.
Okay.
So yes, my family donated $2,500, and within 1 year, 21 other families and organizations did the same exact thing. And we had $55,000 for the down payment on these buildings.
So you saw the good and the potential. You want to show us this room? And then you were pledged to be the good for these people.
Absolutely.
See the good, be the good.
And we just did that. And when a woman is down here on the 4th floor, she is going to start going to our job skills program. And our job skills program is great. We have a staff member that does that.
Yeah, the jobs program. Yeah, because that's important. Not put all the pieces being employable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And companies call us asking for our women.
Yeah,
And
wow, okay.
Edna alumni would never come to work at 9 o'clock. 15 minutes early is what they are taught to do.
Ah.
So you always want to have an
There's so
Edna.
much more at stake. Like they probably appreciate the opportunity, so they're more than ever driven to.
Oh
to
yeah,
work
you want to
hard.
be here like on time. And when my start time is 9 o'clock, I should be at my desk looking at my emails with Jen talking to me. That means coffee made and coat hung up and whatever else I
Right.
need to do. So you are prepared for the day. There's no
Life
more stealing
skills.
time anymore. We're giving it 110%.
So in that 5th month, they're going to get a job. And I need to say that the founder started this. If you come to Edna and you do not have a GED, we mandate that you get one. So you go next door to the school building and there's tutors over there. Edna House returns women to their families and communities, sober, strong, law-abiding, with sustainable employment. And how can you do that if you don't even have a GED?
Right.
Many of our women are college educated. It just depends. As we say, addiction has no boundaries. It takes who it wants. And I can tell you when my son first came to visit, in January, we have an open house. And I just started working here and I kind of found him on this hallway floor. And he was kind of emotional. And I said, Jake, like, what's wrong? There's all these people. Why are you so upset? And he said he had heard this beautiful woman say to her husband, and she had 2 children next to her that were 5 and 7. And she said, this is where mommy sleeps. And he said to me, she looks like you. I thought she worked for you.
Oh, yeah.
And so if my own child did not know that moms that look like me or moms get sick, then I felt like a terrible parent. I was like, okay. In his defense, I'd always worked with men before. My background was criminal justice. So, so that's how that happened. And again, respite care for families, and everybody's sleeping just so well knowing that their loved one is here and taken care of. And when we ask, so once they get a job, they begin to pay $375 a month to live on this floor. So I'm not asking for a handout. These ladies aren't asking for a handout, it's a hand up. It's a bit of time to get on their feet and recover and return to their families sober and strong.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what we remember, we're looking at 17 minutes right now. This is my problem because I love to talk.
Okay.
But so what is what's like the next step on this tour then that you give?
All right, let's go down by the kitchen and then go right next door.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Chapel? We see
Yes.
chapel?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Perfect. I'm gonna say hi. I'm following you. I'm
Okay.
saying hi, I promise. Again, if you're just joining us, this is on West 65th Street, Cleveland's west side, the Edna House. I say it's a house that love built. That's kind of how I feel.
Okay.
And they have this chapel. So no matter who, the God of your higher understanding, or right, whoever you want to come in here and get plugged in, it makes you just want to be quiet just for a minute and just take it all in, right? This is a former convent, 100-year-old convent, and this is available to all the women here who are trying to get rooted.
As you can tell, it was just Easter, so those are Easter basket for the ladies' children. The Cleveland dispatchers, they support us completely. Again, just one of the
Police
organizations.
dispatchers? See,
Yeah.
look at that.
They came Friday before Easter and gave those all to us. My first God moment, everybody says miracles happen here at the Edna House, was when I first started, and I'm not in recovery, so people don't ask me for recovery help, and that's great. But this woman said to me one morning as I was running to my office, Jen, would you pray with me? And I was like, okay. So we came here and we hit our knees, and all I could hear Tammy saying was, begging God. She was begging God to keep her sober one more day.
There she is. God bless her.
Yeah.
And there you are. You had no idea, did you, Jen, when you took on this job, that it would be as much a calling as a career, right? That makes me, like, that's all any of us want to do, right? Talk about purpose.
Right. Yeah. So we're sitting there, and I'm like,
Really? Was, yeah.
and I thought that she was really reciting the 3rd step prayer. I just didn't know that at the time. But I came away from that, and I thought, I want to share that with people. I want to share, not everybody dies. People go on and live beautiful lives. They get sober and they do that. And I want to share that with first responders. Yeah. So I invited every police chief I knew, every fire chief I knew, to our big fundraiser in March, and they came. And we celebrated with them. We want to show everyone the hope there is in recovery, and it happens right here at the Edna House. And there still are supporters today. So my friend did come back because it was such an emotional time for me that she came back and took that beautiful picture.
Yes. Okay, so that's the part that I said at the beginning. There's so many stories within the story. I didn't even know that, first responders, near and dear to my heart. Anyone who goes to work and serves without the promise of coming home. So now you've looped them in. You've given them hope that when they don't all, like you said, not everyone dies when they go to these overdose cases and stuff. Okay, so
And
what?
it's not their fault. They don't get to see the hope and recovery. They don't. They're not here. They're on the crashes. They're on the Narcan.
Yes, now,
Visits,
yeah,
so,
right,
yeah.
exactly. Okay, so what is
Can
next?
you guys go in
so
here
we're just
really
gonna
quick?
take
We're
you
gonna bring a
into our
camera.
kitchen.
We
Okay.
want you on camera.
Look at how, I want to show them this picture on the wall really quick. Give me 1 second. So this is the hall that I walked on. Just feel this with me for a minute. There are classes taking place right now as we speak beyond those doors. And this is it.
Don't you apologize. You're doing your thing. It's live. It's like a big
Oh, God.
Would you mind? Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
That's too funny. I go, oh, it's so peaceful. That would be the doorbell.
How you doing?
Somebody donating food. They're dropping off.
Oh, yes. Wait, say it again. That's somebody at the door donating.
Chopping the vegetables.
Okay. All right.
So somebody drops off
You
food.
can use that.
All
Never
right.
been used.
I'll show the ladies.
Buy no food.
I'm glad the doorbell rang. 'Cause
Yeah, give
I
me
wanna
just a
make
couple
sure we're
minutes,
safe.
okay? Yep. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
How was the ham?
Oh, it was so good. I'm actually right in the middle of a meeting. I'll send someone out though. I'll be right out.
Picture's so bad.
It smells good in here right now. It smells like home. Like, yes.
And when Murphy said, when you're upstairs and you get up for the day and everybody has a chore, 2 women cook for everyone. For 2 weeks, twice a day. And no one has ever been hungry, even though for 18 years we've lived completely on donated food. Our ladies go to the West Side Market. We love the West Side Market every Friday. It's like, Edna's in the house. And then we give whatever they have that's extra or that they would like to donate. And people come to the back door all the time, providing food. And we're just so grateful to everybody who makes that happen.
There's so many layers of good stuff because 4 women had an idea
Yes.
to uplift, encourage, and inspire.
Thank God they did.
Ooh,
Right.
Thank God that they did. Yeah.
Okay. What's next, Sarah?
Okay. So we're gonna go back into my office.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Would you guys mind answering?
Sarah knows firsthand, if you're just joining us again, how this place works because she has this fantastic life because of Edna House. And that's
to
the
say that-
greatest advertisement.
Our first 6-figure donor for the capital campaign said, I'm going to give you this money, and I want Sarah's mom to know I'm doing this because Murph's mom got her daughter back. And he said families are absolutely reunited here, and that's how we were able to make our kitchen so beautiful and functional. And I always say, I'm not trying to make it look like the Taj Mahal, but for the safety, support, and dignity of these women, that this beautiful place exists. It's been beautiful for 18 years. It's just a lot more functional. So we're very proud of that.
That's it? We did the tour?
Yes.
Yay! Oh, good. We did
We
stick
were
pretty
trying
much
to
to
keep
time.
it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But as soon as I sat down when I got here in this office, you were telling me some things. I said, we have to wrap it up with this. So this is Jen's office. And look, I said, love grows best in houses just like this. I said, I feel like this is the house that love built. And it's real, and it's genuine, and it's vulnerable, that life is freaking messy sometimes, and it's hard. Life is good, but it's hard. And so here's she goes, Jen, didn't you say your friends are like, wait, only you could run around your house and have swag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Spirit wear.
somebody's dad, when you see somebody's dad or an older man with this hat on, that's somebody's dad, and he's super proud that his daughter got sober here at the house, you know? I think that's wonderful. And like I said, our 2 fundraisers a year, it's St. Patrick's Day, and then we have a 5K race. And it's in Edgewater, and again, everybody comes and supports. But I had shown you this before.
Yes.
You asked me. This is my family. I always have this down here. This for the Edna House, just like all the ladies here whose families are so happy that the Edna House exists. We're not always the stop for everybody. Many people do those 30-day treatments. My dad, And when I get a Ford worker's daughter in here and I'll say, what are you doing here? Your dad works at Ford. And they'll say, they sent me to all those 30-day programs. I needed more than that. So the average length of stay here at Edna is actually 8 to 10 months. And we did the capital campaign because we bought the school building next door to us. It's right now being renovated and we're adding 10 long-term sober suites over there.
That's
And
right. That was
where-
going to be the last step, but just
Yeah.
believe us when we say construction is underway because this place is expanding. It's expanding because of good people who believe in what you're doing here. I was hungry and you gave me something to eat, thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. That's it, Matthew 25, 35, 36. It's right there. It's faith in action. And people learn by your examples. Not everyone, look, you don't have to come here and be a person of faith, but they came and asked Jen, even the woman we just told you about, to pray. And you know what? If that's what they need, they get that here, and they stand on faith because of your own examples. But it's the examples that speak volumes. So I can't thank you guys enough. Sarah, is there anything else that you can think of? Because I know you and I, we like to talk.
Yeah, no, we've had some really good conversations. So no, I appreciate anyone who's watching. We did not get to go next door because of the construction, but I do hope, Dawn, that you will come back and do a follow-up story, maybe even come on our grand opening day, because some amazing things are happening. More lives are being saved. We have miracles happening every day.
Amen. And grand opening expected in June.
Correct.
And the 5K is,
October 1st.
okay.
Saturday,
And where can people find all this information?
on our website, ednahouse.org. And Murph's really good at doing all the social media.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn.
Edna House.
Yeah.
.org for the website. And look, I will never see a hat like this ever and be the same for having known what it all stands for. You know what I say? You guys, whatever you can do to make the world a better place, be a Jen, be a Sarah, because what you contribute matters and it counts. Have a great day. God bless.